Hi, everyone. I'm Carrie Fallhaber, Vice President with JobsFirstNYC. I'm joined by Allison Lands and Chris Toplak, who are representing our partners at SkyHive, and Megan Marshall, my colleague here at JobsFirst. JobsFirstNYC is a nonprofit organization dedicated to advancing economic mobility for young adults in their communities, and we improve systems to achieve better societal outcomes. Recently, you may have seen, we announced a new partnership with SkyHive, a technology platform that is innovating how we use skills intelligence to reskill workers and communities globally. As you can see, our company missions are closely aligned, and we believe that skills technology represents a promising solution. Today, we'll share a bit about how JobsFirstNYC is envisioning the application of skills intelligence for the benefit of our New York region. SkillsMapping in New York City builds on JobsFirstNYC's experience promoting industry-based work solutions, such as our green economy, tech, and healthcare sector networks, and our place-based community solutions through the development of partnerships in communities such as Brownsville, the South Bronx, New York, and others. So why are we here to talk about this today? It's really important to know that local context matters in employment and in economic outcomes. Where you are born, the neighborhood, even the block in some cases, is still the greatest determinant of your future opportunity and the greatest determinant of that opportunity and your economic mobility. Why is this important? We all know that you can't be what you can't see. And when it comes to skills, you can't grow what isn't sowed and cultivated. As workforce developers, seeing hiring trend toward a focus on skills is what we've been asking for decades, actually. It's been a conversation, skills-based hiring, leveling the playing field, skills over degrees, and we're really seeing this come into fruition now. And place shapes local industries, how they operate, which in turn shapes employers' needs and perceptions of the local workforce. Job growth alone, economic development, it does not guarantee economic mobility, nor does job training alone workforce development. So to maximize our impact as an ecosystem, we must align our investment in skills to the dynamics of the labor market, which includes recognizing the state of industry, the importance of place, the social capital of an individual or community, and their unique skills and attributes. And again, I ask, why is this important right now? Well, imagine being able to build reskilling and upskilling plans for an entire neighborhood, plans that showcase skills currency of that community to its own residents, and build upon their unique strengths and abilities, creating direct pathways to higher wage jobs and laying a foundation for long-term economic mobility. The challenge is information is not currently democratized in the way that we're talking about right now, in a way that makes this possible. We imagine using skills intelligence to build a workforce that's responsive to the needs of employers, highly adaptable individuals with the skills necessary now and to meet the demands of the future of work. I'm going to pass it over to my colleague, Allison.
Thanks so much, Carrie. I'll talk a little bit about the solution we've envisioned in order to do this place-based skills mapping. Our solution involves applying the analytical power of big data to our community's skills, starting at the individual level and aggregating up to the community level. And SkyHive is a skills intelligence platform that leverages the collective insights of the global labor market in real time. It's unprecedented. This technology is able to not only infer a worker's skills from their online profile, resume, even an intake survey through the work that they do with one of our region's workforce intermediaries, it's also able to take that information and contextualize those skills in novel ways. So how does this AI work? We hear about AI, everywhere these days. SkyHive's machine learning model ingests a massive amount, over 20 terabytes of data each day. And it does this from across government, industry, academic, and online sources, and assembles them into the world's largest skills graph. The data that is used for skills matching, therefore, reflects the most up-to-date, real-time view of the global labor market that is possible with today's technology. And this helps individuals and the communities that they live in answer 4 critical questions about labor market relevance and employability. And those 4 questions are, what are my current skills? How do those skills align to the labor market, both now and in the future, as Carrie mentioned, where the future labor market is heading? What is the gap between the skills that I have today and the skills that I need in order to be employable, in order to stay competitive? And what is the most efficient path to bridge those gaps? For an individual, SkyHive can serve as a GPS to help guide them to career paths and workforce training that they may not be aware of or have discovered on their own in their community. It helps them to see themselves in relation to the global labor market and also to see the opportunities that are available to them. If we aggregate this across many individuals, this view of skills can yield a skills footprint view of a neighborhood or community, of the skills that organically reside there, and guide decisions about how best to invest in workforce and economic development in ways that are aligned to the strengths of those community members, increasing the ROI, increasing the impact that we can get from those investments. We have begun to pilot this approach in communities where we partner, and promising results are beginning to manifest. We're also shaping skills maps around growth sectors in the regional economy, sectors like healthcare, technology, and green jobs. Skills mapping as an approach aligns organic skills to areas of economic growth, and SkyHive's technology acts as a system of intelligence that can reveal career paths and anticipate labor demand shifts, redirecting job seekers to those that support them to the areas of growth and opportunity that are in our region and beyond. So let's walk through an example of how this might work. I want to introduce you to David. David is a call center worker. He's a frontline worker who does customer support and customer care. And while he enjoys this line of work, he doesn't see it as a long-term career path. He's looking to continue to advance in his career and continue to increase his earnings and his economic mobility. But he struggles to identify his skills and use those skills to navigate the job market. He may not have the social capital, he may not have the reference points in order to see where he could potentially navigate to in the digital economy of the future. But having worked in a call center, he has many transferable skills, skills including communication, problem solving, conflict resolution, and an understanding of things that cause his company's customers pain and aggravation. By gaining access to this view of his skills, David may actually achieve a new perspective on his job prospects and potential career pathways and avenues. Things that he may not even have considered include things like a customer service manager, a sales enablement specialist, a product manager, or a user experience designer. And we see this happening in the real commercial labor market every day at SkyHive. There are often jobs that our users haven't even contemplated might be a good match for them. And when they discover the transferability of their skills and the different career paths that are available to them, they're able to become what they can see. As Carrie mentioned, we can't be what we can't see, but once we see it, it's really hard to look away. And in disinvested communities, this is a key factor that holds job seekers back. Showing job seekers their skills and the fact that those skills have currency in the labor market, as well as options that are accessible to them with their existing skills and a bit of upskilling or training, often reveals career paths that are viable, but might have been overlooked. And using labor market data, things like salary data, skills matching, skills gaps, and personalized upskilling recommendations, job seekers can gain an informed perspective on what is possible and what it would take to break into a new field or pursue a different role. They also gain insight into how close they may actually be to a significant increase in income or career mobility with just modest effort. Most can upskill or reskill within 4 to 6 months for an entirely new role. These are the new collar skills that we're also excited about in workforce development and that we want to connect our communities in New York to. For job seekers with tenure in one sector, occupation, employer, or even a role, this technology can conversely expand what they see as the art of the possible and reveal the transferability of their skills to better work, higher quality jobs, and higher pay. This type of skills-focused matching is also increasingly used by employers in the private sector to reinforce their commitments to diversity, equity, and inclusion through skills-based hiring practices. And now more than ever, more individuals with skills who may have been screened out of opportunities that they were otherwise skilled to do will have the potential to be seen for the skills that they bring to the job and unlock some of those opportunities. And we stand ready to help Jobs First and its partners do just that. With that, I'll hand back to Carrie, and she's going to talk a little bit more about how those who might be interested can connect to these opportunities. Carrie?
Thanks, Allison. Before we do that, I love the example of David, but also thinking about, again, why is this important right now? I would say because if the last 3 years have taught us anything, it is that skills are the key to adaptability. And one of the most important skills now in demand is adaptability and the ability to keep learning adjacent to the changes in the labor market. SkyHive empowers you to identify the skills you have and the skills you need to advance. During the first and second years of COVID, we ran a pilot with our partners at Eastside House Settlement. And Dave is an avatar and probably somebody, many of you have worked with and can visualize, but in our partnership with Eastside House, they had a participant, a real person, a real life example, Michael. And Michael had plans for himself when COVID hit. Then injuries left him homebound and out of the workforce. So he thought. But his SkyHive profile enabled him to shift focus and identify training to build on existing entrepreneurial skills. He had previously done some work on the side for friends and family and his place of worship to create personalized apparel and accessories. He even created some of Eastside House Settlement's employee t-shirts with company logos and their swag. And, being homebound, that created an opportunity for him to focus more on his own business, as well as educate himself around entrepreneurial topics to help scale and market his business. And he found these education opportunities through setting up his profile on SkyHive identifying his existing skills and helping him map to courses that align with both his career as a training and outreach instructor and the self-employment work that he already does. The trainings he took included mechanical ventilation for COVID-19, classroom strategies for inquiry-based learning, and customer-centric marketing for entrepreneurs. And Michael told us that he felt enlightened and empowered by knowing his skills and that directing him to new training and learning opportunities. JobsFirstNYC is an organization that focuses on systems change. We believe that skills mapping has unprecedented potential. Michael is just one example of this. Giving an individual skills awareness, insight to the currency, quote unquote, of their skills in the job market, making them adaptable. Identify skills existing in communities and potential skills deserts in communities. This is something that we could do by having lots of people upload their resumes and build out their profiles and starting to see within a community, within a specific zip code, what are the skills that are there and what are the skills gap for a whole neighborhood. And to get ahead of labor market skill shortages and strengthen industries and employer partnerships. Ultimately, aligning workforce programs to the unique skills footprints of the communities they serve provides residents with the strongest possible path to economic mobility. I'm now going to introduce my colleague while I go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to introduce my colleague, Megan Marshall, who I introduced earlier in the video. Thanks, Megan. I'm going to toss it over to you.
Thank you, Carrie, and thanks, Allison and Chris, for being here with us today. And most importantly, thanks to all of you for joining us today. We really believe that every community can benefit from this skills mapping solution, and we invite you to engage with us, to learn more about the opportunity and to experience what it can unleash. It's really an exciting time for workforce technology, so let's keep the conversation going. The QR code at the right of the screen will direct you to a form where you can share your thoughts, express your interest in partnering, and connect with us. And with that, we hope to hear from you soon. Thank you again for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.